McLaren 750S is the definition of a quintessential supercar, with styling that would drop jaws, sound that would induce goosebumps, and performance that would raise heart rates. It is unlike any other supercar on the market right now. The last time I drove it in Portugal, it was a raw and unhinged experience, but we now finally have it on home soil here in India. I'm reacquainted with the McLaren 750S and we are at India's newest racetrack, Coast in Coimbatore. And well, it is the perfect racetrack for a car like this because it just is such a nice, fast-flowing track. A lot of high-speed corners as well. So yeah, definitely McLaren territory. Alright, so let's talk about the 750S. Well, it is the successor to the 720S, which already was a mighty supercar. Honestly, there wasn't a lot that was wrong with it. They had to only make minor incremental changes to make the 750S, and well, what a job they've done. I mean, this is McLaren through and through. It is exactly what they do. Clinical, surgical, and absolutely precise. Nothing over the board, nothing over the top, nothing that's brash and out there. It is all very subtle, but so effective. Arguably the star of this car is the engine, a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. It is the last of the non-hybrids. That's its party piece. I mean, if you want a car that doesn't have anything to do with electrification, hybrid tech, no electric assist, this is it. Pure V8 power and nothing else. 750 horsepower, 800 Newton meters, and well, it definitely has the numbers. Obviously, it gets launch control as well. So 0 to 100 is a quick 2.8 seconds. 0 to 200 is a quick 7.2 seconds. And 0 to 300 is done in a shade over 19 seconds. Top speed well over 330 kph. And this thing is not just fast, but it is also very fast in slowing down. Because what you have are 390mm carbon ceramic discs, and they do the job just fine because the braking on this car is absolutely astonishing. Coming up to these tight hairpin corners, you can just attack at maximum speed, just hard on the brakes, and there is an incredible amount of bite and confidence. The front track is up by 6mm, the front suspension is softer by 3%, and the rear suspension is stiffer by 4%, and 15% shorter final drive results in rapid acceleration through the gears. Obviously, the numbers are quite technical, and yes, it is a nerd fest, but to be honest, it's not short on humor either. Because what you get on this is, in simple terms, a drift mode. Basically, you can adjust the amount of drift you want, the amount of angle you need to slide your car, and it basically will just babysit you through the whole thing. You can look like a proper pro driver in one of these. I'm really not doing it justice. What you need is a driver who can manage something like this. A driver who's used to this sort of power and performance. How about the fastest Indian? Naren Karthikeyan is one of the few who can truly master something like the 750S, and on the track with the track focus Pirelli Trofeo Rs, he was gunning to go. As he approached turn 1, which requires a strong braking, it is the rear wing that is extended by 20% that acts as an air brake to help anchor the car down. Turn 2 is even more important since you need to get a fast exit out of the corner and get the car straightened for a roughly 600-meter flat-out run through a long left-hander. The updated chassis control system means the 750S is taut and sure-footed despite its rear-wheel drive character and the mountain of power. Naren tries to hold it down for turns 5, 6 and 7 and unleashes the engine yet again on the downhill section before jabbing the brakes for turn 8. As the car slows down, you can hear the pops and bangs from the exhaust, courtesy the new limit downshift transmission function that is exclusive to the sport and track mode. Through the double left corners of 9 and 10, you can tell the 7-speed gearbox is quicker to shift, and once you exit corner 10, there is a bit of straight through the fast turn 11, with a 15% shorter final drive results in rapid acceleration. Through the turns 12 and 13, where the 750S drops as low as second gear, the stiffness of the carbon tub chassis shines through. There's almost no flex on the suspension, especially in track mode, ensures the car is planted on the tarmac. However, it is the back straight after turn 13 that is a reminder of the sheer speed the 750S can achieve, crossing 200 kph in a flash before navigating the final and technical turn 14 and doing it once again on the start-finish straight. The lap was a quick 1 minute 44.28 seconds, second only to the 911 GT3 RS. Narain was more than impressed.
Feels exactly like that, supercar, through and through. It has a carbon tub and 750 horsepower, so there's absolutely no flex. It's very stiff, but it's so fast on the track. It's done a low 44, today is a very, very hot day in Coimbatore. Track temperatures were very high, but to be miles ahead of the other cars is incredible. And of course, it has a lot of power, but to put down that power, the chassis is also, copes with it brilliantly. So dynamically, it's great. Very good tires as well, the Trophy R's. Also the nature of coast, it's very flowing. So this car is brilliant to drive in the high-speed corners. Looks like, I know it doesn't have huge wings, but it generates a lot of downforce. So yeah, I mean, it's, very fast.
The McLaren 750S, especially in the Lantana purple seen here, seems fitting of something that the Joker would choose to escape Batman. The headlamp inserts are narrower, front splitters extended for better downforce, it has aero ducts in the fenders, a new rear bumper and diffuser, and a new lighter exhaust as well. Now talking on the interior, I mean, it is a pretty focused cabin. You don't have much to distract you. You have a vertical mounted touchscreen. Apple CarPlay is standard now. And that's pretty much it. You also get a Bowers and Wilkins audio system, but to be honest, when you have a twin turbo V8, no better song can touch your soul like that. What I also would have liked to continue forward in the 750S from the 720S was the swiveling instrument cluster. As soon as you put it in track mode on the 720, the whole instrument cluster would just swivel down. It would look so cool. But of course, this cluster does the job perfectly. All the temperatures that you need, all the essential numbers are on here. But that little bit of drama that you had on the 720S with that swiveling instrument cluster, that would have been just perfect. The 750S is an undiluted experience of driving a rear-wheel drive supercar that gets passed solely from a good old internal combustion engine. The models coming next will all have some sort of electric motor assisting and just won't be as pure as the 750S. It's not for everyone, but for the few that can afford it, it will have them smiling like never before.